just gets the work. It's Gunner. Oh, no.
Gunner walks away with it. I've been making predictions about Trojan being the player to watch this tournament. So far, we've seen Trojan take it in the rear several times now on the screen.
Yeah, we've seen Trojan get in the bum a bit, but that's just the way FA goes. You don't have to be consistent. You just have to be consistent. So if you get cleaned up a few times, it doesn't matter. You just spawn again, get back in it, get some kills. So we see Buck20 and Fragby taking the early running in this game. Now this is what I hate. It's really hard when you spawn bottom mid here to not go up a landing and just get absolutely crapped on when you get there. Gets one on Trojan though. Buck20 is going to challenge, and Buck20 is going to get worked by Fragby. Lovely double.
Fantastic use of the spam there. Wonderful spam by Fragby. Now this is a good spawn. This is a fortunate spawn up high.
That's a pleasant one.
Pleasant one. Everyone likes a good spawn. Good spawn here now up high. Again, he's got a good vantage point. You can see what's going on in the map. Trojan taken out again. Now we've seen Trojan really taking a spank in this game so far. He's bent over the knees of these other players and his trousers are down.
Fragby's really locked in the robot aim, man. He's just not missing. Trojan getting a bit worked, and he's actually sitting last at the moment, but he's the sort of player that, although it's very hard to go on a run, he's the sort of guy that I think could probably do it. Fragby in a crap position, and Gunner is never, ever going to let him get away from there, and just puts the boot in.
Gives him a shoe up the rear.
Right in the rear.
Now again, it's the first game though, Pete. I mean, we've seen Trojan now he's taking a real pace in. I'm keeping my money on Trojan to do well. He's still got 2 more games to bring it out of the bag here and step it up. And as I say that, he gets his face crushed.
He gets just bashed, and we're watching from over back to shoulder. He's having a look. He's getting, we haven't heard much crap talk from Jack, which is unusual. Normally we hear him getting into it, shouting at people, getting screamy and anything, but we're not seeing it. Now we're back on board with Jack, needle rifle in hand, taking on Gunner. Gunner gets away and then he gets naded by Shay.
That's a frustrating situation in any free-for-all game where you come out no shields, no kills, and you're left in a very vulnerable position where you will likely be cleaned up for a double. Good nades now by Jack on, well, let's say bad nade, as he tries to chase down Gunner again. Now here's a difficult position. He's forced to chase for the kill, gets an assist. Takes on Fragby now 1v1. Bloom gets the better of him and Process takes him out from behind. Yep. Still early days in this free-for-all. What are your predictions?
Very, very tight still. I mean, you've got, I think it's Buck20 and Fragby making the early running, but everyone else is on 11 or 12 kills.
It's kind of funny because the 2 people we talked about choking, Buck20 and Fragby, obviously off with a head start.
Yeah. Well, you got to think, Mark, we basically don't know what we're talking about, clearly, is the fundamental issue.
But it's all based off of previous history. And I mean,
no, it's true.
Buck20 did choke on Halo Reach recently, so...
That's mean, Mike, that is mean.
It was 13th seat. Did we say 13th seat? And they got 20th?
20th, 7 spots, see they dropped.
Let's see if we can
That's actually got to be some form of record.
Yeah, that's big. We should encourage them to do better.
Okay. As we're watching over the shoulder of one of the brown players, I believe it's Trojan. Not 100% sure, watching his screen as he's just patrolling, looking for some kills, not finding a lot of people yet.
I believe this is the king of JC, Kettlehead himself. Finds himself in a nice position top mid and steady aim, but gets cleaned out by Gunner.
It's Buck20.
Yeah, it's actually Buck20 we're on with it right now.
Excuse me, my mistake. Mr. 20.
Mr. 20. Jack getting away down low as we are going back on board. We're on board with Shay now from A4D. One of the kind of surprise package in the farm. Everyone else we've kind of heard of before. We knew about them. Shay was the kind of the guy that hadn't really heard of. I think his team is seeded in the top 12, but not a player I've really heard much talk about up till now. But he's really making a name for himself.
You always have to watch out for the underdogs. I mean, right now he's still, he's close enough to first place. You want to get that top 4 finish ultimately, but you definitely can't count him out of it now. Chasing Buck20 down bottom middle.
Well, the guy we hadn't heard of one of the guys we hadn't heard of ECL 1 was Gunner, who just lost out on 1 kill as he just gave it to Process there, delivered the goods.
Delicious.
Delicious. As Fragby now taking the lead, 24 kills, and we're looking for Shay. He's trying to get top mid. I don't know about top mid. How are you feeling about it, Miles?
I have always been an advocate of top middle. I love top mid. You can see everything, but everyone can see you, so it's such a gamble. I think it can either go completely your way. I mean, I saw some powerful play from players earlier on in the tournament, utilising top mid, but I think at this high level, top mid's not going to be your friend. Everyone's going to be looking all over the map. The awareness is through the roof. These players are going to know where you are at all times. Top mid, too much of a risk in my book.
Well, you're trying to gain the height just to kind of shoot down, but obviously you've got 8 players playing on such a small space. It's not really any sort of advantage you're giving yourself, but at the same time, because you're only popping together 2 or 3 kills, sometimes it's worth it depending on if you come across 2 guys who are going one-on-one, you got a chance for 2-for-1 pick-off there.
It does give you a really nice angle on the landing, which is obviously where a lot of the action goes down on Zealot. You know, a lot of stuff happens on landing, which is good. We're back on board with Fragby as he takes on Process. Oh, I thought that was a double, just an assist. It does give you a really nice angle on landing, but obviously you can't watch both landing at once, so you can be cleaning people up on one and getting just double team from the other. As Fragby does a little sneaky jump to top mid.
Good map awareness there. Fragby with a fairly commanding lead down this free-for-all. He's up by 1 kill, I believe. But he's separated himself from the pack at the start of the game. He's slowing down a little bit now.
I like Fragby's strategy there. He's just vacuuming kills up there.
He's sucking it in. He's the Dyson of the part of the game right now. He's real. He's getting cleaned up now himself.
More like the Henry.
Henry.
Trojan did that ultimate thing that's the most annoying thing in the world, when someone just hides behind pillars and will not fight you top, and you just got to sit there looking around waiting for them to pop out, and if they don't, like Trojan did there, was patient, wait for someone to give shots on Fragby, allow them to get away. Very, very smart from him, as you can see it in his view. Gunner going to go up that lift, and he's going to get pulverized. Trojan too good to let that happen to him.
I think Trojan's fed up of being spanked all game.
Yeah, well, he's
on
on
last place, but he's fed up of taking it. He wants a piece of the cake.
He wants that cake.
Over the shoulder now of the man, I believe it is Trojan.
Over Trojan's shoulder, he's currently sitting last place. Not what you called, Miles, but I know it is early days and it is very tight still. But we are talking 3 10-minute FFAs. There's only just under 2 minutes left to go in this, which is quite tight. So I think that whatever happens in the final, the kills are going to be so close. So it's not the sort of, this isn't the sort of FFA we can afford to have a bad round and come back and storm it, because you just don't have the time. You've got to be really consistent the whole way through.
Although you say that, but we have seen some pretty epic comebacks in previous editions of Halo. We've got guys who are maybe 8 or 7 or 8 kills down, coming into kind of mid-second map, and next thing you know, they're 2 away. They've somehow put together a really nice run, and then maybe not necessarily won, but come very close, top 3 at least.
It's free-for-all, Mike. Anything can happen. As we're seeing now, the level of individual play right now is through the roof. No one's taking very few doubles. It's all about positioning now, and these players, no one's going to give up easy kills, apart from maybe Buck 20 in that position, sprinting to his death. Sprint's not been so big for me in the free-for-all so far. I found that a lot of players are avoiding sprint because you find you sprint yourself to your death almost. And I found that was one thing that I saw on the MLG stream was the pro players in the States. They refrained from sprinting so much because it ended up just getting them in trouble.
Well, it's same in the obviously in the 4v4 in the FFA you're going to see it too. Sprinting does get you killed. It's with every game, I think. A lot of games have sprint in it now, and I think the best players realize fairly quickly that you only use it to get somewhere when you know what's ahead of you. You don't use it to get somewhere when you know you're going to die. You may as well face up to your maker.
We're going back on board with Bastion now, and I think the sprint thing, what I like about it is it allows you to be aggressive around the corner. Bastion gets a nice clean up double, could be a triple here, but he gets a bit puzzled. I think body came out top mid.
I thought that was a triple in the way as well, and then he turned out to be dead.
But I think we thought that was a guy, but it was actually a body came up the lift, confused him, and then allowed, and that is going to be the end of the game.
So Fragby walking away with 37 there at the top. He's putting our predictions to shame.
I actually predicted Fragby to win this.
Did you?
I did.
You didn't say that earlier, did you?
No, you didn't ask my predictions earlier, Mike.
Okay, let's go through our predictions now that we've seen the first map. Miles, after seeing kind of the opening round.
I still want Trojan to win. I have a lot of faith in Trojan as an individual player. I feel he's having a rough game. It's the first game up on main stage now. He's got to feel himself out a little bit. He's over there. He's got smiles on his face. I want to see Trojan pull it out the bag. Can Trojan pull it out?
Can Trojan pull it out?
It's the Trojan.
Well, you don't have to pull out if you're using a Trojan.
That's true, Mike. You don't have to pull out if you're using a Trojan.
Mr. Robertson,
well,
what are your thoughts?
I think Fragby's going to win it because Dale told me it was Royalty's event, and so Fragby's going to win this, and they're going to win the fours by all accounts. So no, I think he looked really, really good in the semi-finals. Played really well against a lot of strong players, and I think he's got off to a really good start there. So I don't see a reason to change at the moment.
Follow the fish up the stream. Isn't that what they say in Texas?
I don't know, Mike. What part of the state are you from?
Canada.
Are you from, Mike?
No.
Okay, so we're going to get the second map started now. Once our referees are done calculating. Oh, we're good to go. They're going.
Very important.
They're going live.
It's very important to get the scores down. We do not want any mistakes.
I have to say, Miles, you're very poppy on your microphone, so if you hold it more like this.
I'd like to hold the microphone a little
not so close to your mouth. There we go. All right, so the Halo Reach FFA final happening right now here at ECL 2 in Blackpool. What do you guys think of Blackpool?
I like Blackpool.
What do you guys think of Blackpool? That's like
Blackpool.
the most half-hearted cheer ever for Blackpool. There's people having a lot of fun outside this building right now.
It's a really lovely day.
Show that you're having fun, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and of course, this is the first event where we've had alcohol served. What do you guys think of that? Is that good? I knew that would get a cheer. Okay, here we go.
Let's get on board with the
Round number 2.
Game 2 is underway. On board now with JB Jack Baxter. Picks up a nice early assist and gets cleaned up.
Frustrating. Now, Baxter was another guy who didn't have a greatest first round there, and he's got to look about balance. He's a confidence player, so the kind of that sort of first round may affect him more than others. But I think he might be trying to shake that confidence thing now because he's so experienced in tournament play now. And I think he just seems like he can do it when he's not talking crap and he's not, at his best. I still think he's got a lot of skill and can come through.
Just to get his head down and give it all he's got. But right now, Gunnar is off to a really commanding lead. Taking on Fragby right now. Baxter gets cleaned up. Gunnar at the head 7. The rest of the pack trailing behind with 4s and 3s. Could this be Gunnar's game? It's quite hard to lose the momentum in the free-fall at this level, but again, anything can happen. Could this be Gunnar's game? Could we see a real close free-fall final?
Hopefully. I obviously want to see a close one. Gunnar obviously had that phenomenal second game at ECL 1. He just went absolutely ballistic and smashed everyone. Now we see Fragby on 6 kills, going to the teleport, going to take on Baxter. Buck 20 cleans it up nicely. But Fragby he's getting off to a really good early start. Nice spawn there, has Shay on the ramp. It's going to be one of those annoying fights, but Fragby takes him. Nice 5-shot, representing the royalty. I want my man Fragby to do big things. I think he's a good player, and I want one of the royalty boys to come away with something this weekend. And Fragby's also got a big tab to pay off in Manchester, we hear, for the young lady. So he has to win this. Shay out DMRing in there, but Fragby staying pretty solid, staying aggressive, which is nice to see. Buck 20's going to go down surely in the back of the head. Gunnar going to be cleaned up for a double eventually. Turns around, triple surely, but no, choke. Jack stuck him before he died. Unreal play from Baxter. L triggering him right at the end, and Trojan getting off to an absolute flyer here, Miles, on 13 kills. Your boy's coming good.
Come on, Trojan. I'm still backing this horse. I'm still backing this Trojan horse. I'm not coming out of this one. Good aggressive play there through use of sprint.
Good use of sprint, getting this, the big jump to get an angle on someone to get the headshot. Always smart, always very, very good. As we are now back on board, I think with Fragby again, he's playing really well, getting off to a nice lead. No, it's not Fragby. It must be. I think this might be Trojan.
My boy Trojan picks up an assist and a headshot. Medal's very confusing in Halo Reach. You seem to get a medal for absolutely everything you do. I'm surprised it's not a reload medal.
It's kind of nice, though, for assists because, especially in an FFA final, you kind of see who's getting siphoned, like basically helping out on kills. You kind of see who's siphoning up kills. Obviously, when you walk away with 37 frags, you've had help.
A big triple.
Nice
right now
triple. They're unbelievable.
The whole game seemed to revolve around the bottom middle area there, and Trojan was there with his Henry, cleaning house. Picks up a nice triple. Again, a small lead now for Trojan.
I mean, you were talking about the medals. One of the things that you and I were having a conversation with at Gadget Show Live in Halo is controlling the burst on any gun you use, really, and how it affects your game. Do you think it's important here in an FFA?
It's incredibly important. Again, you can get away with spamming your shot, but as we saw earlier, Fragby has a fantastic balloon control right now, and he's doing a really good job with it. I'm a fan of Fragby's aim.
I think it's interesting because what I like about Reach is there's different ways to shoot. Different players shoot in different ways, which I think is quite interesting. Some guys like Spamirez, he just hammers the trigger and seems to get away with it, and sometimes you see other players hammer it and don't. So it's interesting the way players, I think the bloom's quite related to the way you move and strafe. So it's interesting the way different players move and strafe affects how they actually pull the trigger, which I think is a really interesting part of the game.
It's really weird because you do strafe really quickly, and the sensitivity in Reach is so much higher than in any previous Halo. So the fact that you watch people strafe, and people talk about the fact that headshots and kind of accuracy with a gun can be really, really hit or miss. But it's just because the strafing is just so quick in the game. And when you're trying to counter someone's strafe yourself to try to get hit good shots, like we're seeing it right here, they're actually strafing in sync there rather than strafing against each other. Most of the time you're going to see two guys strafing against each other, which obviously whoever wins that is showing more and more skill.
Yeah, as we are we're on board with Trojan. We see the two big Europeans, Gunner and Trojan, getting out to a big lead with Fragby just behind them. But I think Gunner